Good morning again, boat lovers. Alrighty, we are back into some boat building again. And I finished putting the top coat on those engine bays yesterday, so that's all dry. And before I start putting these side decks on, which I'm really looking forward to, I have to mark out where I'm going to put the bollards or cleats for tying the boat up with. I'm going to have 3 along this side up to here, another one at the front, so 4 all the way along. But I've got to work out exactly where they are going to go because I have to put some reinforcing structure under where the cleats are going to bolt down. And then so I can access the bottom bolts when I do those up, I'm going to need some access hatches on the inside of the boat so I can reach through underneath if I need to and do those bolts up on the cleats. If I need to take them off, etc. So I've got these little access hatches here. So I'm sure you guys have seen those. They won't actually be seen on the inside because they'll either be in the back of a cupboard or behind some upholstery. So to cut these in neatly, I needed to get a hole saw. I've got some, but not the right size. You know, I've got one of those kits that's got a whole bunch of different sizes in there, but not the right size for this. So I went and bought one this morning. It's one of those, 111mm. And because the little attachment in here is a different size to my hole saw set, I also had to get one of these arbors to join into it. So that was a small fortune to buy these, but I think that's going to do the job really well. So I get a nice neat hole cut in with a hole saw and I can put these in. So as I say, first job this morning is to mark out exactly where these are going to go, where the cleats are going to go, and then drill some holes on the inside of the boat for the access hatches to match up with those. So that's job number 1. Alrighty, let's get to it. Hello boat lovers, welcome to the channel. My name's Steve and I'm single-handedly building Dragonfly. She's a 53 foot or 16.2 metre flat bottom wooden riverboat. I've designed her specifically for the inland and sheltered waters of the River Murray here in South Australia. Join me each week to watch the mayhem and madness of one man single-handedly building a massive flat bottom wooden boat. Who needs yoga when you're building a boat? Now this is 111mm, and those little access hatches are actually 112. And I'm hoping with the they're big, close enough, we'll see. Otherwise we have to do a bit of sanding. Oh, yes! Look at that. Woohoo! Alright. That is a good fit. Wow. So that's going to give me access to get behind the bolts when the deck's on, and I drill through to put my cleat or bollard here. I'll be able to get underneath, tighten the bolts up, etc. And I'll have permanent access to that. So I'm going to do that here, well, on both sides of course, and I'm going to follow along. So we'll be putting these holes, one here, I think one goes behind the galley drawers. I just realized that because I have the two swing keels that go down either side of the wheelhouse, I can't actually put anything through there, of course, because it's a watertight area. So I'm going to need access to the cleat up there, but I think I'll gain access by putting one of these hatches in the actual deck itself. So if the cleats are there, the hatch can be back here, I can still get underneath and do the bolts up. I'm trying to put most of them along the side so I have minimal obstruction on the decks. Even though these are flush fitting, they still stick up, they still protrude a little bit. So I'm trying to keep the decks as smooth as I can. But as I say, just in that one spot up there, I'll need to put access hatches on the deck itself. Everything else can be done through the sides. And of course, up in the bedroom, in the front area, there's nothing in the way, so the bolts will actually come through the ceiling, and I'll just have to put some nice dome nuts or something on the bottom of those so that it looks nice and neat. Alrighty, I'll go drill a hole on the other side, and then I'll work my way along the boat. Just replaced my tape measure because I brought with me my older one, which is twisted on the end, and it's still usable, but it's really darn annoying. So I try not to use that one. I've got tapes all over the place, so I grab the other one. Much better, good straight end, easy to use. Bit of useless information. All right, let's get this next hole done and go from there. Oh. All right, we'll get this next one done, which is going to be here, and that lines up on the inside with the back of the sink, so that's actually not a bad place for access, as long as I put that access hatch low enough that when the time comes for adjusting bolts and things, I can get my hand in below the sink. There's not really anywhere else to put it. Even if I put it at this end, it's a bit tricky to get in there. And to have a sort of even spacing of those bollards or tie-off points, I really need to come up this way a bit. So I think this is where it has to go. Alrighty. Alright, boat lovers, now I've got those access hatches in place. I've done two at the back, 2/4 of the way along. The next two, as I say, are going to be accessed through the decks itself, and the ones up here, of course, are accessible from inside the anchor well. Alright, so now I've done that, the next thing is to get some extra support along the sides where I'm going to lay the deck, because I don't want it to have any flexing in it. I want to be really solid. So I'll grab the camera, I'll just show you what I'm going to be doing back there, and then I'll get into that. I have to I have to rip some timber down to do that because I've got some long lengths of, actually I've got treated pine, which is not normally a boat building product of course, but it's really well seasoned. It's treated pine, so it can't rot, which is fantastic, and it's quite light and strong. So here along these side decks, these are spaced a little bit too far apart for my liking for deck support, so I'm going to run a strip of probably something like about 70 by 35 all the way down in the center. Now I could put pieces across, but there's no reason to do that. It's actually going to be stronger if I just run one piece straight down the center. That's going to give me a really good base for these decks to sit on, and there'll be no sponginess or anything like that. So big heavy people can go stomping along there and we won't have the decks sagging or anything like that. So that is my next job. So I'm going to rip some timber down for that and get stuck into it. I'll show you the timber that I've got. It's actually left over from house building. So I've had this for about 7 or 8 years. Because Amanda and I actually, the house you see in the background, we actually built that, the two of us. We bought this beautiful property purely as a cow paddock with nothing on it, no services or anything like that. Long story short is we built this shed, then we built a little apartment in the back of it, and we lived in that apartment for I think 2.5 years while we built the house to lock-up stage, and that was literally the two of us. We did all the excavation and the foundations. Amanda mixed all the concrete foundations by hand, I mean with a mixer, but shoveling 17 tons of concrete. We did all the steel work, the flooring, the framing, roofing, you name it. So yeah, the two of us built that house together, and I've still got materials left over, so I use them when I can. So here are the boards I'm going to rip down. These are 120 by 45 or something like that, but nice long lengths under there. Those ones at the bottom. So I'll probably put my saw bench outside because these are really long, a bit tricky to handle. I don't know, I'll rig it up, I'll do something anyway. So I'll get one of these nice straight ones out and I'll rip it down into suitable pieces, and then I'm going to notch those partitions along the gunnels, along the side decks, sit the board in along there, glue it into place, and that's going to be fantastic to stick the deck down to. Alrighty, time to rip down some timber. I decided I'll clear some space and I'll rip those boards down in here. If I need to, I can open the big shed door there to give myself a little bit extra room, but I might as well do it inside, easier. to run a board like that straight along the center here, notch it into place all the way along, glue it in, and that will give me a great surface to attach the decks to. So when that decks go on, we'll have something screwed in there and here, and glued of course, and wrapped in fiberglass, and screwed in the middle, so that's no way that's going to flex.
I've been drinking all night, I'm so weary. The moon's shining bright, the day's receding. The dogs are hungry now, they need feeding. When you're coming home, I need you near me.
Alright boat lovers, that is pretty much it for today. I rarely have this side shed door open, but I opened it today to rip down those long boards, and I have to say, standing out there where the camera is and looking back, the boat doesn't look too bad. It looks a really good angle, so I thought I'd just shoot a bit of footage of that before I knock off for the day, and I'll see you guys in the morning or Monday morning when I'm back in here working on the decks. Alright guys, see you in the morning. Alrighty boat lovers, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Maple and I will see you guys next week. And until then, boat safely, take care, and we'll see you then.